Hello everyone, this is Ashish Sani from Innovate Yourself. Welcome back to my channel. Once again, I am back with a very interesting session for you guys to learn. And in today's session, I am going to show you that how you can build your own smartwatch with IoT using ESP32. So in short, in this session, we are not going to use Node MCU like we used in the previous sessions. Instead, we will be using ESP32, which is far better than the Node MCU, and also it has the inbuilt feature for the Wi-Fi as well as the Bluetooth module. So this is the beauty of using this ESP32, and we will be using this in this today's session. So let's get started and let's see how you can build your own smartwatch with IoT using ESP32. So let's get started. Alright, so let's talk about the components that will be used in the today's session. So firstly, we will be using the ESP32 module, in which we already have the built-in Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth. So we will be using this. Second one is OLED display, which is the 128x64 OLED display, and this is like 0.96 inches, right? So this is the screen size in which we will be displaying all the messages, all the text that you want to display, right? So this will be used in this case. And also you need a breadboard where you will be making all the connections. You need all the jumpers, and in this session we will be using only the male to male jumpers, because in my case I'll be requiring this only. But yeah, if in case you are using in a different way, then there it may vary accordingly, right? So you need the jumpers for that, and also you need the data cable to connect your ESP32 to your system, so that you can transfer the code into the ESP32, right? So this is all about the components. Let's move ahead now. Alright, so as you know that what are the components that you will be using in the today's session, so it's time to interface them together so that we can further start with the software part to write a program and to make a smartwatch based on the IoT and using the ESP32 module, right? So this is all that we will be doing right now, right? So to make the circuit diagram, I am showing you the circuit diagram on the screen. So just make the connections accordingly, and once you are done with it, we can go ahead for the software part for writing the program for the project, right? So just make the connections. Alright, so here you can see I have already made the connections between the OLED display and the ESP32. So this is the OLED display, which is a 6-pin OLED display, and this is the ESP32, and I have made the connections using the jumpers as shown to you in the circuit diagram. So this is what exactly I have done. Now when you are done with this part, now let's move ahead and let's write the program for this. Alright, so now we have made the connections, and it's time to go ahead for the programming part so that we can see like how you can make your smartwatch, right? So for that, just open your Arduino first, right? So I'm opening it on my Ubuntu system. So for that, I'm just running the command. So it will open the Arduino for me. So once it will be opened, now I can go ahead and I can write the program for it, right? Alright, so in this session, like you can see, I already have the program on my screen, but before going for the program part, let me just go through the process for the ESP32, because ESP32 module is not available onto your Arduino IDE directly. So for that, what exactly you have to do is you have to install it, you have to set up it so that you can automatically download it from the tools manager, right? So from the tools and from this board manager, right? So from there you have to find it out, but in my case it is already there, but no worry, still I will tell you like how you can set up it onto your system, right? So to set up that part, what exactly you have to do is first go to files, inside file just go to the preferences, just click on preferences, and in here you can see there are many options, but you don't have to go to any other thing. You just go to this additional board manager URL, right? Like in one of my previous session, I have already shown you that how you can set up the Node MCU onto your Arduino IDE, right? So that is a different step, but this time we are not going to work with the Node MCU, right? So you can see this is a link for the Node MCU. Similarly, for the ESP32 we are having another link. which will help us to connect the ESP32 to the Arduino IDE, so that we can further write the program for it and we can link the ESP32 to the Arduino IDE, right? So this is the link for that, and here you can see I have written another link separated with a comma, right? So this link which I have written here is for the ESP32, right? So don't worry about the link, I will leave the link in the description, right? So you can check from there and accordingly you can also set it up. So this is a link which I am setting up here. Just separate this links with a comma if you also want to use the Node MCU along with the ESP32, right? So it's up to you. If you want to keep it, just keep it and separate it with a comma. If you only want to keep ESP32, you can only write it and you can remove the other one. So this is the way you can do it, but in my case I want to use both of it, so I'm separating it with the comma, right? So just click on OK. Alright, so I have added that. Now go to tools, go to board, go to board manager, right? So in here, let it finish first. Alright, so it's there. Now what you have to do is you have to search for ESP32. So can you see here you are having ESP32 by Espress If Systems, right? So this is the one which we have to install. In my case I already have installed it, but in your case it will ask you to install it, right? But right now the install option is disabled on my system just because the version which I'm trying to install is already installed, right? But if in case I will select different version, then it will automatically show me this option, right? So this is how you can install it. So once you are done with this part, we can move ahead, and after that what you have to do is you have to go to tools, in tools go to board, and in here you have to search for where is that option? It's like do it. Can you see this? Do it ESP32 dev kit v1. So this is the one which we have to select for our ESP32. So just select this option. Alright, so the option is selected. Now when you will go to tools, you will see the option is already selected, right? So this is the way how we have done that part, right? And now it's not the end, right? Because after setting it up, you also have to install some of the libraries which can help you to perform this task, right? So for that, you can see in here I have included different libraries, right? So you have to include these two libraries first, and these two libraries will be used when you are going to interface your Arduino, or let's say in case you're going to interface your ESP32 with your OLED display, which is like 1306, right? So this is the model number which is specified here, right? So this is the one which we are using right now, right? So we have to install it. So just do one thing, copy it and just go to sketch, go to manage libraries, and now search for it. So you will see that the one which I have installed on my system is this one. So it's better you will also install the same, right? So just install it. Similarly write the other one as well. So GFX. So in this case you will see the first one, so just install the first one, right? And accordingly it will set it up onto your system, right? So in this way you will be able to see that how you have set up this thing, right? So I have set up the libraries for ESP32 along with the OLED display, and the OLED display which I am using right now is 128 cross 64-bit, right? So this is the one which I am using in this session, right? So this is all that I have installed, and these two libraries I have installed for OLED display. Similarly for the clock time, because in this session what I want to do is I don't want to use the time which I will set in the initial stage, right? Instead of taking that time, what I want to do is I want to take the time from the internet, or let's say I want to take the time live from some official website, so that it can be set up onto my smartwatch accordingly, right? So this is all that I want to do right now. So for that I need to install this NTP client, right? So just check in here, NTP client, right? So you can see the first one by Fabrice, right? So you have to install this one, so just click on this and it will install it onto your system, right? So this is all that you have to do. So these are the different libraries that you have to install. Once you are done with this, just close this up. Now we can go ahead and we can understand the program which we have to write in here, right? So for that, what exactly we are doing in here is we are first using the internet connection, right? Internet connection we are not going to use continuously, right? We are only going to use the internet once in the initial stage, right? So the thing is, when you will start your smartwatch, at that time what will happen, it will be connected to the Wi-Fi, it will be connected to the internet connection, and after that, once it will be connected to the internet, it will fetch the time details from the official website, and from that website you will have the complete details and you will store it onto your variables. When you are having those data with you, accordingly what I am doing is I am just setting up the complete program which will automatically change the timing every second, right? So it's like I'm having a second watch, and that second watch is continuously changing, and accordingly the minute and the hour timing is also changing, right? So this is all that I'm doing in here. So for that, for the first time you will be using this Wi-Fi and it will link to the internet, and once you have that data, it will be stored onto your variables and you can accordingly use it. And after that, you don't need the internet connection because we are actually not using it, we are only using it once. So this is making it smart, right? So this is the thing that we are doing right now. So for that, just mention the SSID and passwords for this, right? So this is the SSID and password for my Wi-Fi which I am using. So in this case I have this one, and accordingly Wi-Fi UPD I am making it an object for it. Similarly I am making it for NTP client as well, right? And after that, right now what I am doing is I am just writing all the names of your days, because when I'm going to fetch the details for the day, it will provide me the details in the form of numbers, or let's say in the form of indexes. So based on that indexes, what I'm doing is I'm just collecting them, or let's say I'm just accessing them based on that index value, and accordingly I will be displaying it onto the OLED display. So this is what I'm doing. And after that, you have to mention that what is the dimension, or let's say what is the width and height of your OLED display which you are using. As I have already mentioned that we are using the 128x64 LED, right? So this is what we are doing, and accordingly we are not using it right now, just leave it for now. And in here you are just setting up the colors for it, but in my case I cannot use all of it just because the one which I am using is the black and white type, so it will only handle this black white, so it will only handle these two things, right? So this is what exactly I'm doing. And in here what exactly we are defining is we are defining the pins which we have connected as per the hardware part, right? So which we have already seen, right? And in there you have already seen that how you have interfaced the ESP32 with the OLED display with respect to the pins which I have mentioned you in the circuit diagram. So based on that I have just mentioned all of it. And now after that, what exactly you have to do is we are using this Adafruit library, right? And based on that I'm just giving it a name, and in that name I'm specifying what is the width, what is the height, what is the MOSI pin, what is the clock pin, what is the DC, what is the reset, what is CS. So I'm mentioning everything, right? So this is all that I have to do. And once you're done with this part, just first write the code for making the connection between your Wi-Fi so that you can read the data from there, right? So this is how I'm doing in here. And once your data is connected, it will just return the IP address, and this IP address will be displayed to you on the serial monitor. You can check it there if you want. And after that I'm just initializing the time client object which I have created, right? So after that, what exactly you have to do is you also have to set the time offset. And why do I have to set them? Just because based on the time zone, we are having different timing. Like I stay in India, and in India the time zone is plus 5:30. So based on your country, it can be different, it can vary accordingly, right? So based on that, what you have to do is you have to write it in this way. And like how I'm getting this 19800, so let me just tell you that as well. So in that case, what happens is in 1 hour it's like I'm having 60 cross 60, right? So this is what, this is the value of an hour, like how many seconds that you are having in 1 hour, right? So based on that, I am having this value. Similarly, multiply it with plus, now what is this, 5.5. Now why I'm writing 5.5? Just because it's 5:30. So 5:30 is like 5.5. So this is what I'm writing. So I am in the positive zone, so that's why I'm writing plus. But if in case you are in, let's say, minus 5:30, so in there what you have to write? You have to write minus 5:30, and based on that you will be able to see the timing in here. And also you have to mention it in negative if you are in a negative zone. So this is how you are going to get this value, right? So I am in the positive zone, plus 5:30, so that's why I am mentioning the value based on this, right? So this is all about that. And once you have set the offset, you can also check that whether the display is begin or not. If that is begin, then it's okay. Otherwise you can display the message like SSD 1306 allocation failed. So this is what we are doing right now. So in short, what exactly we are doing in here is we are just waiting until the display is connected, right? So this is what we are doing. And after that, just specify like display.display, and based on that it will work. And inside loop, we want the clock to update every second, so that's why I'm running it inside a loop, so that it can run as an infinite loop, right? And also for that, what I have done is I have made the separate function so that we will not mess up all the things. And in here, so here you can see time client dot update. So from here I'm just updating that time, I'm just getting the updated time, and accordingly I am just fetching the value for it, and that value will be fetched based on this time client dot get day. So this will give me the value of the day, and for that you will also have the values in the number format, so that we can access the value for this variable which we have created in here. Or let's say we have created this array in here, and from there we are just accessing that value for the day. So this is what I'm doing. And after that, similarly do the same thing for the hour, minute, second. So just collect all the data, and accordingly just pick that value and just send it onto the display. And how I'm sending it to the display? I'm sending it to the display from here, because in here I am having these commands: display.clear display to clear your screen, display.set text size. So in here you are just setting up the size of your text. 1 means the normal one, 2 means it will double the size and everything. Right now I have written 1x or 2x, so just change it to 1x, right? So this is the single size. Similarly, set color visible. And why I'm writing visible? Just because right now I'm not passing the value directly, I'm not passing the static value. Instead that value can be a dynamic value, and that value will be coming as per the function, right? As per this particular clock function which I have created in here, right? So here you can see, right here you can see this is the one, and in here I am passing inverse, black, white. Inverse means whatever is the color of your background, based on that it will invert it and that color will be displayed, right? So this is what I'm having right now. And after that, once you are done with this, I have set the text, I have set the color, I have set the cursor. Like, so set cursor is like the position where you want to display the value, right? So this is what I'm doing right now, right? And accordingly, one more thing, let's make the changes like day, because this is the value which I am getting in here, and that is not coming directly. Instead that value is coming from this time client which we have just read, right? So from here it is coming. So this is why I'm just passing it like this. and after that I have just mentioned all the conditions, like if the value of the second is less than 10. Less than 10 means if it is less than 10, it will not automatically write it like 09. It will only write it like 9. So to make it 09, what exactly we have to do is we have to do the concatenation. So for the concatenation I'm just writing 0 plus and just converting this integer value to the string and then concatenating them. So this is what I'm doing. Similarly I'm doing it for all of it, and this is how you have made your complete project. And once you are done with this, just save the program, and now it's time to upload your program to the ESP32. So for that what I have to do is I have to just make the connection to the system, right? So for that, right now you can see in the tools, here is the option for port, but you don't have any port, and also it is disabled. So to make it enable, just do one thing, just connect the ESP32 with your system. So now I have connected it to the system, so you can see, alright, it's not showing clearly. Okay, so you can see now port. So this time you can see the port in here just because I have make the connection of my ESP32 and the complete project to the system, right? So just click in here and now just click on upload. Oh, okay, got it. I just have to remove this, right? Okay, upload it again. Alright, so the program is uploaded now. Now we can go ahead and we can see that whether the project is working or not, right? And don't worry about the code. I will also leave a link in the description for your code as well, so you can download the code from there and you can run it. So let's just see that whether it's working or not. Alright, so here you can see this is a watch which is working absolutely fine, and right now it is showing me the timing as 13:32:55 seconds, right? And this is showing as per the 24-hour format, so that's why it is showing me right now like this. And also, as you have seen while I was explaining to you about the program, there I haven't mentioned the timings anywhere, but still it is showing you this time, and also this is the live timing, right? So let me just show you the real timing as well. So here you can see the timing is 1:33 p.m. right? So similarly 1:33 p.m. right? So this is all about it, and in this way you can make your own smartwatch using the ESP32, right? So this is all about it. Alright, so this is the way how you can build your own smartwatch using the IoT with ESP32, right? So this is all that we have seen in today's session. Similarly, you can add multiple other features as well which you can add to your smartwatch, right? So this is all about it, and I hope everything is clear to you. But still, if you are facing any difficulties in understanding or setting up of the ESP32 with the Arduino IDE or whatever it is, you can definitely leave a comment below in the comment section. And if you have liked this video, then do click on the like button. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, then do click on the subscribe button, and also you can press the bell icon if you don't want to miss any update from my channel. Till then, bye bye and happy learning.